Hey vinyl community, it's Michael. Welcome back to Near Wild Heaven. Today's video is going to be stuff that I've been listening to for the past week. So first off, I wanted to talk about this album and also this album. These two albums I showed last week. I didn't get a chance to listen to them because I had just gotten them the day that I made the video. But I've listened to them since then, and man, are these good. This one especially is so good. This is Thunder and Roses, King of the Black Sunrise. This has just been reissued. It's on a label called Outsider. This originally came out in 1969, and it's so good. It's like hard rock, heavy guitar leads. A lot of it sounds like Cream and maybe like Led Zeppelin in there a little bit, but great stuff, man. This is such a good album. If you like hard rock, if you like Cream, stuff like that, I highly recommend this album. It is a great album. Thunder and Roses, King of the Black Sunrise. And then the other one, this is Red Fang. I showed this one also. Um, yeah, this is great too. This reminds me of the Melvins. It has that heavy stoner rock sound to it, but great stuff, man. Uh, Take It Back, Unreal Estate, Arrows, My Disaster, Too High, Anodyne, all of it's really good stuff. If you like the Melvins or heavy stoner rock, check this one out. It's really, really good. Red Fang. The name of the album is Arrow. So that was from stuff that I got last week that I hadn't gotten a chance to listen to, but I did. And then I started listening to some other stuff. And I started off with this. This is Aerosmith, Get Your Wings. This is their second album from 1974. Great album. This was the first album I ever bought by Aerosmith when I was like 17 or so. But really good. Hard rock. Great songs on here. Lord of the Thighs. Same Old Song and Dance. Woman of the World. SOS. They do a great version of Train Kept a Rollin', which was also done by the Yardbirds and a few other people. Also, Seasons of Wither, which is similar in style to their song Dream On from their first album. That's pretty good. And a song called Pandora's Box. Really good stuff from Aerosmith. This is their their early stuff I like the best, really. I mean, the first three albums were just great for me. I did like Rocks, I think was their fourth album. That one was pretty good. But after that, they started, uh, I don't know, getting like the quality of the music kind of declined a little bit after the fourth album. But still, great album from Aerosmith from 1974. Get Your Wings. And then I listened to another classic rock. This is AC/DC, Highway to Hell. This is the only AC/DC album I own. Um, to me, I don't want to piss anybody off, but to me, a lot of their stuff sounds alike. So I figure one album will do it for me, and this one's really good. I really enjoy this one. It's got the classic lineup with Bon Scott. This is originally came out in, I'm not even sure, I think it was 74, 75, something like that. But yeah, great stuff. The classic song Highway to Hell, Girls Got Rhythm, Walk All Over You. Touch Too Much, Beating Around the Bush, Shot Down in Flames, If You Want Blood, You've Got It, Love Hungry Man, and Night Prowler. But great stuff from AC/DC. Really good hard rock. Highway to Hell, AC/DC. And then I started listening to older stuff like the Kinks. This is the Kinks' second album, Kinda Kinks. I don't think there was really any single on here that made it big, but the song Set Me Free is really good on here. I also have a British version of this, and some of the songs are on the British version, aren't on the US version. But yeah, really good classic Kinks album here. The Look For Me Baby, Got My Feet on the Ground, Nothing in the World Can Stop Me Worrying About That Girl, Wonder Where My Baby Is Tonight, Everybody's Gonna Be Happy, Dancing in the Street, which I think every 60s group did a cover of. I know the Who did a cover of that song. But yeah, Don't Ever Change, So Long, You Shouldn't Be Sad, and Something Better Beginning. But yeah, great stuff from the early Kinks, their second album, Kinda Kinks. And then I went back a little bit further and I listened to Buddy Holly. This is a best of. It's called Legend. 2-record set. Got all the classics on here. Like That'll Be the Day, Oh Boy, Not Fade Away. Like the Rolling Stones did a cover of that. Maybe Baby, Every Day, Rock Around with Ollie V. It's So Easy, that was covered by Linda Ronstadt. I'm Looking for Someone to Love, Peggy Sue. I'm Gonna Love You Too, which was covered by the 13th Floor Elevators. Words of Love, I think the Beatles did that one. Ray Vaughan, there's a version by REM. Early on in their career, they did I got a bootleg of a live show, and they do a cover of Ray Vaughan. Well Alright, I think, was covered by Traffic. So yeah, there's lots of classic songs on here. These are the originals. They've been covered by many people, but great collection from Buddy Holly, one of the earliest and most prolific songwriters of the first rock and roll generation. There you go, Buddy Holly, Legend. Great stuff. Excuse me. Up next, this is Who Are You? This is the last album they did with Keith Moon. This is from 1978. This is a Canadian pressing. It's on red vinyl. Yeah, this one, it's good, but it's nowhere near as good as their earlier stuff, like Who's Next, and even the Who by Numbers I think is better than this album. But this still has some good stuff on it. I mean, Sister Disco is pretty good. Music Must Change, Trick of the Light is pretty good, and the title song, Who Are You, the classic rock staple on classic rock radio. But yeah, pretty good. Not the greatest, but still pretty good. The Who Are You from 1978. And then I started going into a little more like new wave. So I got into this, The Teardrop Explodes, Kilimanjaro. This is their first album. I think they only did 2 albums. This is from 1980 or 1979. Oh, okay, it's 1980. But yeah, Julian Cope on lead vocals and bass guitar. Uh, Pretty good stuff, man. It's just really good. Kind of similar sounding to maybe Echo and the Bunnymen, their first album, Crocodiles. In fact, Julian Cope and Ian McCullough and some other person, I can't remember his name, but those two, they were in a band together before that band split up and they formed respectively their own bands. Like Julian Cope did Teardrop Explodes and Ian McCullough did Echo and the Bunnymen. But yeah, great stuff. Really good. Kind of new wavy, kind of almost like neo psychedelic. Um, but yeah, great songs like Haha and Drowning, Treason, Suffocate, Reward, When I Dream, that's a great song. Went Crazy, Brave Boys Keep Their Promises, Sleeping Gas, Books. Books was, I think, co-written by Ian McCullough. That was a song that they did when they were in their band together. And Teardrop Explode does a version of it on this album, and Echo and the Bunnymen do a version of it on their first album, and it's under the title Read It in Books, but it's the same song. But yeah, great stuff. Early 80s new wave. I don't know what else to classify it as, but just great stuff from the Teardrop Explode, Kilimanjaro. And then I played, got into like some synth pop. And this is a Book of Love. This is their first album. I think they only did two. That's the title is Book of Love. But yeah, this is pretty good. It's all synths, but like it's not like the Thompson Twins or stuff like that. It's got like the melodies in the songs have like a 60s feel to them. And I just think this is a really good album. I really like this a lot. The melodies are really catchy, just really good stuff. Like songs like Modigliani, You Make Me Feel So Good, Still Angry, White Lies, Lost Souls, Late Show, I Touch Roses, Yellow Sky, Boy Happy. It's hard to read some of this stuff. Matrozen, Book of Love. But yeah, really good synth pop with like a 60s sensibility to it. But really good stuff. The Book of Love, the first album from, this came out in 1985. Good stuff. And up next, I went to acid rock with the Grateful Dead. This is, I think this is their first live album. It's called Live Dead. But great stuff. Long instrumental jams. Really psychedelic guitar work from Jerry Garcia that opens with the song Dark Star. The St. Stephen, the 11, Love Light, Death Don't Have No Mercy, and We Bid You Good Night. There's only 6 songs on here. It's 2 record set. But great stuff from the Grateful Dead. This came out in 1969, I believe. I'm not sure. But what's really cool about this, I think it's a first pressing because the label it's on, the Warner Brothers 7 Arts. If you notice, it has that instead of the shield with the WB in it. So this is like a first press. And I found this in a used record store a few years ago. I paid about $15 for it. But really good stuff from the Grateful Dead, the Live Dead, and I believe this is like from 1969. I don't think it says it in here anywhere. No, it doesn't. But yeah, great stuff from the Grateful Dead, Live Dead. And then I went into some 90s power pop. This is the Muffs, Happy Birthday to Me. This is, I think, their second or third album. This is from 1996, I believe, or 1995. But yeah, really good stuff, kind of pop punk. If you can imagine Green Day fronted by female vocalists, that's kind of what you get on this. It does sound similar in style to Green Day, but great stuff. Kim Shattuck is the leader of this band. It's a three-piece band. She's the lead singer and guitarist, backed with bass and drums, but so good. I mean, she writes all the songs, and they are just fantastic. I mean, Crush Me, That Awful Man, Honeymoon, All Blue Baby, My Crazy Afternoon, Penny Horror, You and Your Parrot, Upside Down, and the big hit, I'm a Dick, the title of one of their songs. But yeah, really good stuff from the Muffs. They have maybe like 4 albums out, and I know Kim Shattuck, she passed away a few years ago, and she was also a member of the all-girl band, the Pandoras, in the 80s. But sometime in the early 90s, she formed the Muffs. And like I said, great band, pop punk, really good catchy melodies, really good album. If you want to get into stuff like that, check out the Muffs. Happy Birthday to Me. Really good stuff. And a few more here. Then I went for this album, Waddle Canal Diary, 2x4. This is from 1987. These guys were from Atlanta, Georgia, and yeah, pretty good. Their sound is similar to mid-period REM, like around the time of Life Switch Pageant and Document, but this band, they have more lead guitar in their songs than REM does. But yeah, really good stuff. This is a great album, and it's pretty cheap too. You can probably still find this somewhere. But it's kind of jangle pop with lead guitars, really good stuff. They do songs like Litany, Life Goes On, Under the Yoke, Get Over It, Little Birds, Things Fall Apart, Where Angels Fear to Tread, Winds of Change, Say Please, and Lips of Steel. But really good stuff from Guadalcanal Diary from 1987. Kind of jangly, jangle pop with lead guitar. Really good stuff. Up next, speaking of some jangle pop, this is the Hoodoo Gurus, Mars Needs Guitars. This was their second album. Really good stuff. This is a band from Australia. This came out in 1985. It's on the Big Time label through Elektra. But yeah, really good stuff. They do a song called Bittersweet. Really good. It was covered by the Flamin' Groovies on one of their live albums. But yeah, good stuff. I mean, I really like this band a lot. They have, I think, 4 albums out, but all really good stuff. If you like, they're kind of jangly a little bit, but they also have a harder edge to them too. Um, I don't really know who I could compare them to, but yeah, good stuff. A lot of people know about this band. Great band, the Hoodoo Gurus. Marge needs guitars. And just a couple more here. I went into this. This is Zymox, a clan of Zymox. Um, this was their first album. This is kind of goth-like. Synth has a darker feel to it, but pretty good. I haven't listened to this in a while. This was first time I listened to this in probably over a year, but yeah, pretty good stuff. It's kind of hard to read the song titles there on the back, but great stuff from Clan of Zymox. Really good stuff. And last one here. This is the Human League Travelogue. This was their first album from, doesn't say, I think it was about 1979 or 1980, one of those. But this isn't your Keep Feeling Fascination Human League. This is before they, well, the band had split up. They did 2 albums, and there was 4 guys in the band. They did 2 albums. They split up. 2 of the guys went off to form a band called Heaven 17, and the other 2 kept the name the Human League. They added 2 girls, and then they became like a synth pop band. But this, man, this is like really dark and brooding at times. It's just almost like a Joy Division album almost, but no guitars. It's all synths, but really good stuff. The Human League Travelogue. So if you don't know about this era of the band, check this out if you like really dark, brooding synth music. Just good stuff from the Human League Travelogue. So that's it for this week. Thanks to everybody who's watched and commented on my past videos. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed recently. If you're new to this channel and you like what you see, hit the subscribe button if you want. And I guess that'll do it for this week. And hope everybody has a great weekend and a great week. And I'll see you all next time.